Oh, Danny boy, do we have an episode for you today.
Even the best fail at times, but the key is being able to get back on your feet as soon as possible. In today's video, we're going to share 3 ways that you can experience failure without losing your stride.
I get knocked down.
But he
and
gets
I
up
get
again.
You're never going to get me down. Subscribe and ring the bell for the very best coaching tips on how to improve your life and your business.
Number 1, separate guilt from shame. Maybe you've heard it said before, guilt says, I made a mistake. Shame says, I am the mistake. When we fail, it is very easy for us to then label ourselves a failure. And when we do that, that just only brings us down into that shame cycle, which causes us to lose energy, become depressed, lose focus, and basically give up on the things that we were going after in the first place.
Number 2, change your definition of failure. Failure is feedback. This has been something I keep hearing and it's really stuck with me. Feedback is really important for learning, so if you view your failure as a way to learn and get better, you'll always grow and you won't get stuck. Feedback is really important, especially when it's immediate, when you respond to it right away. A metaphor for this would be if you think of in your neighborhood when you're driving somewhere where there's one of those police signs that says speed limit 35, and it says your speed is, and it shows you're going like 40, 41. What they found was these were really effective because they gave immediate feedback and people immediately reacted and course corrected to it. And that's the way you gotta look at your failure.
Or if you're like me, try to see how fast
you can go through those things.
But not anymore. I'm a very safe driver. I don't know that I have anything to say with this.
This is gonna be a short
This is gonna be a super
episode.
Well,
How are we gonna fill this episode with more things?
Subscribe.
this has been a growth opportunity for me. Say I did something wrong in the workplace. When someone told me I made a mistake, I took it personally. I felt bad about myself, and I identified with my failure. And I've really been trying to take a more professional approach to feedback when I make a mistake, just to that same point, what can I learn from it? And again, my question I always ask myself is, what can I do differently in the future to make sure that that mistake doesn't happen again? And if I can do that, then, again, I'm thankful for it and I can move on from it. Where before, a mistake would take a much more emotional toll for me, and I would just feel much more physically exhausted by the end of the day because I felt bad for the mistake I made.
I believe we had a conversation about this about a year ago. We were talking about trying to get into a morning routine and trying to work out. And we realized that our routines would get thrown out the window if we went out socially for a drink and had more than like a couple.
Yeah.
And so we just, after having some nights where we just really were like, okay, my whole routine that I tried to establish has been thrown out. It's a failure. Well, how do you correct then? You make a decision for next time. Well, I'm gonna end up in another social situation, and so I have to set a rule for myself because I know if I come up against this again, the same result is gonna happen. So then you make a decision, well, I'm only gonna do no more than 2 drinks per the night, or I'm not gonna drink on weeknights.
So now if I go out for a night, I stop at 10, and then I know that's where 10 drinks,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop there.
Like you black out, you don't remember if you've failed or not.
That's the key. Wake up next morning, I don't even know if I was screwed up. Where am I? What house is this? This isn't mine. Number 3 is rebuild your momentum. Momentum is a huge factor in people being engaged in their goals and seeing success. And what happens typically is when you fail, you lose that momentum. So for example, a classic example
For
is,
example?
for example, give an example of my example. A diet. So you're doing well for 2 months, you're just doing fantastic, and then you have that just horrible weekend, right? Barbecue, picnic, going out for pizza, you lost your momentum. For many people, when that happens, they can just kind of give up and end up in that kind of purgatory of, well, I'm gonna wait till next week to start again. And
Wait, did you say barbecue pizza?
barbecue and going out for pizza. But barbecue pizza is really good though. Have you ever had that?
Is that a thing?
You don't know barbecue
You don't
pizza?
know?
You don't know White Zombie?
He doesn't know more human than human.
I didn't really know it until I looked it up and then I realized I knew it.
We almost ended the friendship right there. Not that I'm really a big White Zombie fan. He just acted like he didn't know that song.
I didn't know it because you didn't sing it that well the first time you sang it. If I really want to, be honest right now. But anyways, so you lose your momentum and then you just live in your bad habit again. And so the key is to try to start building that momentum back again. So just saying, okay, I'm gonna, in a week from now, I'm gonna start again. That's horrible, right? Because all that time you've lost, let's say that you just binge out and, gain another 5 pounds. There's another 5 pounds you gotta lose again to get back to where you started from. So how can you build momentum? Change your win structure again. So when you first started, like your first day, that was a win, right? Your first couple days, you're like, oh my gosh, 3 days. Well, the longer you started going after it, the more time it took to really make those milestones. You gotta shrink back your goalpost again. If you've stopped a habit after, a year, you gotta go back to celebrating, okay, you know what? I made a half a day towards my goal. I made it towards the end of the first day. I made 2 days, because then when you start building those wins, you get re-engaged, you feel more involved in the goal you're going after.
And you're talking about get a really quick small win.
Small win. Like literally, I have been recording my calories like a beast for probably the last 6 months. This last week, for whatever reason, I just kind of went off the rails and gave up on it. So today what I did is I ate a muffin, and right away, as soon as I ate it, I logged it. And it was like, all right, I'm a person who does this. Here's my first win. I logged that muffin. That would be nothing a week ago. I'd be like, logging a muffin, what does that even matter? But for me, today, it got me started, and it got me thinking, I'm a person who does this, and I just did it.
Aaron mentioned how we sometimes will blow it and we'll say, well, I'll start again next week. But really, another key thing to this is immediately hit the reset button. So as fast as possible, go for the small win. Don't take my word for it.
Ba-dum-bum. Leave a comment below on how you bounce back from failure faster.
Yeah, why do we always gotta make the content? We've been helping you guys out, slackers. And as always, if you want to support us, if you enjoyed this video, if you got anything out of it at all, anything.
Even one
just
thing. One
chuckle.
tiny.
Please subscribe to our channel.
And do us a favor too, if you don't mind, send this video out on Facebook or Instagram, get the word out, let people know about what the Flynn and Aaron show is all about.
And that's what it's all about.
Just made a muffin log thinking about you.
Aaron made a point to immediately go for that small win. Muffin logs.
I don't think we can use that.